Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. Liverpool have beaten Brentford 2-0 at Anfield. We retained a clean sheet. We have now got 2 clean sheets in 2 games. No goals against. The Arne Slot machine is up and running. Goals from Mohammed, Salah, as always, and Diaz, who was many people's man of the match. So first and foremost, we're going to go through the player ratings before diving into post-match tactical analysis, because this is a channel with substance in abundance.
The cream of the crop!
And that's what we do. And as some people kindly pointed out in the live watch along for Liverpool versus Brentford that I did yesterday, I got the lineup 100% right. I got the score 100% right. I got every substitution completely right. Yeah, boy. And every one of our attackers, our first team attackers, is on the score sheet. Jota, Salah and Lucho, Diaz. So let's do it. And there were also many tactical subplots to unveil in this particular match against Brentford. Brentford held a zonal marking, shifting press like the fulcrum of a ship, going from side to side in a similar shape. They had inverted centre-backs going to the centre midfield, showing their techers and ball-playing ability. They overloaded the back post against McAllister, against Trent. Aya, for example, what a menace. They had chances to equalise as well. We're going to go through all the tactical ploys, the transitions, on a defensive transition into the offensive press. That's how we scored the first goal as well. It was amazing to see the man overlapping as the third extra man. We're going to do it on the tactics board. Don't you worry, I'll visualise absolutely everything. There were many subplots here. 92% pass completion, the highest pass completion rate since I believe the records began in 2003-2004. 100 appearances for Virgil van Dijk, and 98 of them he's been unbeaten as well. Mo Salah has been directly involved in 128 goal contributions in 128 games. Do you know how unbelievably insane that is? For a one season wonder, he's having the best season. Season means prime time of life, prime time of youth. He's having the best season, first season, one season wonder in history. This must be the longest first season ever for Egyptian king, with the river Nile running down his abs. And that's to build on the 50 touches in the opposition box against Ipswich from last week, you know, where we absolutely camped in their half in the second half. And this was also a story of the second half turning it on, because Arne Slot actually tells you his strategy. It's just you can't stop it. He says that the opposition are going to run out of legs to compete against us and press us and do their thing, whereas we will run right because we stick to our philosophies and get our key players into the game-winning scenarios again and again and again. And I've told you many times about those particular scenarios, but we'll cover them in detail in the analysis as well. But we also need to touch on Trent Alexander-Arnold's slight frustrations and little strop around being substituted. I actually made a short about it. Check it out as well, but I'll cover it in this video. And I want to say a big thank you to every single person who joined me on the live stream watch along. It was midnight, in fact it was 12:30 when the match actually kicked off here in Miyazaki, Japan, and we had concurrently over 150 viewers, lots of comments and interactions, and now the YouTube members is up to 53 strong. Miyazaki Gan, the Miyazaki army. And I did announce live on stream the first 100 members, the bedrock supporters who are going to boost this channel to the skies, to the limit. Let's overtake Sky, why not, right? Sky Sports. We'll jump on Carragher in a second as well. But for the first 100 LFIJ YouTube members, me and Miyazaki Mama Mai have decided to create a one and done exclusive piece. It could be an artifact, it could be a display piece, it could be custom kit and wear. For the first 100 members, you join the Discord and you tell me what number you want. Everyone can get one number between 1 and 100. Choose your favorite number and a nickname. And I'm also putting some personas against some of the numbers. For example, 3 is the Enforcer, 4 is the Rolls Royce, and 10 is the Playmaker. I'm going to put personas against all the names for a bit of fun as well. And when we create this custom gift, after we have 100 members, you will get this exclusive piece, and that member number belongs to you forever as long as you're a member. Domo arigato minasan. Really, really thankful. We're up to 53 members for 47 slots left. First come, first serve on your choice of number. Why not? It's cheaper than a Tesco meal deal or a mediocre cup of Costa coffee. So give it a go. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. Trust me, it's going to be so special. So thank you so much for joining. We got 10 more members during the live stream. And for all the donations and super thanks as well, absolutely warms my heart. I've just released Dotaro Endo book translation part 3, which talks about the legacy of the gum shield and how it means more than you can imagine. What it simplifies, where it started. Is it the 60th prototype? Read to find out more, and I'm translating the next chapter as well as a vlog article right now. But let's get into it. So we're going to fly through the player ratings. By the way, if you want me to do player ratings and post-match analysis in 2 separate videos, then let me know. The only issue is when you release a new video in the YouTube algorithm, it kind of buries the previous video, doesn't expose it as much. Hence why I'm putting them together in this particular format. But if you think it's something that you want to see, then I'm always open to feedback. Make sure you smash a like on this video, help this video get seen as well. All the interaction and comments really help me in the YouTube algorithm to push the video out there. And channel is growing constantly thanks to all of your love and support. Let's get into it. So Alisson Becker, 7. He did everything he needed to do with aplomb. Safe pair of hands. You're always confident when they bypass the line or when they get a shot. If the shot is anywhere in the proximity of Alisson Becker, he's going to get a clean contact. It bounced just before him. He collapsed on the ball, clutched it to his chest, pushed it away, and like a volleyball player, running out to spike it as well. He has everything. An absolutely outstanding man, outstanding goalkeeper, one of the best of all time alongside Ray Clements for Liverpool. I love the man. Can't say anything more. And he plays guitar and he's well spoken as well. Alisson Becker, he's a 7. He did everything he's expected to do, but we weren't under the cosh that much. We controlled the game. Speaking of which, Arne Slot's tactical methodology means when he plays the players in the centre of the pitch, he said as well, it's great for our offence, great for overcoming the opposition's shape and press in the centre with the extra man. But additionally, on the counter-attack, when they have the transition, we have extra bodies to prevent a quick transition, which is why Jon Wissa and Mbeumo were isolated as a partnership up front. Now, Thomas Frank did say something very interesting as well. They beat us. The last time they beat us was Thomas Frank and Mbeumo up front. It wasn't Ivan Toney. So, yeah, there's merit in his logic and play. But Arne Slot's system snuffed out the opportunities to get into Alisson Becker. So 7 is all I can give him. Then let's go into right back. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, when he's on the ball, technical wizard, in to out ball. He doesn't always play the Hollywood long ball, spray the ball. He plays at the opportune time. But what I really liked about Alexander-Arnold is all facets of his ability here. Around the back, pinging it across. Beautiful overlap. That's the original Trent Alexander-Arnold that broke into the Liverpool team under Jurgen Klopp. Into the deep lying tempo maestro position, the number 6 when Brentford were tiring and couldn't press him in the 6th position in the second half. Spraying the ball, holding the tempo, luring the opposition onto him for the press, because you want to press Trent Alexander-Arnold because he's a playmaker from deep and can change the point of attack anywhere. And when they're out of position, then moving the ball and shuffling it along, not always playing the ambitious pass, but playing the safe pass and the pass through the lines as well. And in the right half space, delivering quality delivery, delivering it over the top on occasion. This is what I really like about Arne Slot ball. It's a short, transitional passing game through the thirds, through the lines. However, when the opportunity arises, even though Brentford are used to pressing you because you're moving the ball quickly in short distances, you hit the ball over the top. Van Dijk tried the ball over the top. Trent tried the ball over the top, but not often. You catch opposition off guard because their muscle memory can't prepare for that quick switch of play and tempo. It's fantastic to see. Trent was a dominant force, technical ability for all to see. And on the defensive side as well, don't put salt on Trent's name defensively. He shuffled the opposition down the line and made sure it would have been a weak cross or crossing from a position where Alisson, Van Dijk and Konate are prepared to intercept and bring us on the counter-attack as well. Trent gets a solid 8. He was fantastic that match. Ibu Konate. Wow. Did he make a single mistake in the whole 90 minutes? He was immense physicality, blocking the opposition, tough in the tackle, dominant aerially, even in opposition box, having a headed chance as well. That composure, that pace. Even when Mbeumo and Wissa are barreling in on our goal, our defence aren't panicking and everyone's rushing back to support and get into position for the shape to win the ball back and transition into the offence, where our offence is actually really powerful with Lucho, Diaz and Mo Salah and Diogo Jota. But Konate, man, it's got to be a 9, if not 9.5. I will give him a 9.5 in this match. And even then, that is not quite good enough to win the man of the match. But Konate should be joint man of the match. Immense, colossal, titanic performance. Colossal titan. Virgil van Dijk, consistency, composure, coolness, clearing the lines, headed chance as well. Did you notice on our corners as well, we put Van Dijk on their keeper. Now Flecken had a good game, but Trent was shooting direct at goal, right on top of him. Van Dijk said to bundle in. It didn't come off this game, but Trent, with those kind of opportunities, will score. And it's very noticeable in training as well. Arne Slot was teaching Trent, teaching Lucho Diaz, teaching Szoboszlai around on that line ball, that arcing curve with dip into the goal from that tight angle. Trent tried it from the corners. Cheeky lad. But yes, before we progress, we've talked about Konate, we've talked about Van Dijk. I'm going to give Van Dijk an 8 because he was dominant, but not as good as Konate. going back to Trent and that substitution, right? So every player has adrenaline running through their veins. They want to play. These guys love football. They breathe for football. They can't wait for match day. And when they're on the pitch, they want to stay on the pitch. It's completely acceptable and understandable of a high caliber player to not want to come off, okay? And maybe he's even got himself in fantasy football team and he doesn't want to let his own team's points down because he would have expected an assist in the dying moments of the game. Who knows? But yep, head down, a bit of a sulk, not Anelka. And it wasn't the best of looks. The media are going to jump on it, especially because his contract situation is running down as well. So there'll be a media spotlight. But these things happen. When it gets back to the changing room, by the time next training hits the next day, it's forgotten about. And another thing, if you really want to prove the point to Trent and run it home, Trent, when he first got the minutes and first got the opportunities to come into the team, to stay into the team, he is vice captain of Liverpool. Liverpool means a lot more. You have to show respect and honour. And Arne Slot is the man with the plan in control. You don't cross the boss. It's an age-old lesson. You respect the club. You respect the manager. You are human. You can have bad body language. You can frown. Even towards the end of the game with Jota over the shoulder, Trent Alexander-Arnold was not looking particularly cheery and chuffed. But I tell you what, I'm player coach for Lucho FC. This is how I would have handled it. And I mentioned it in the short. You go to Trent Alexander-Arnold in the stands and you go, right, okay, you want to play 90 minutes next game? Are you mad because you got substituted? You couldn't complete 90 minutes? You go to Conor Bradley in the changing room in front of everyone else. You are vice captain of this club and you tell Conor Bradley to his face, you don't deserve the minutes. You don't deserve the game time over me. You don't deserve to play my minutes. You go, man up, show your cojones, and you tell Conor Bradley in front of the whole squad that you shouldn't be substituted and you don't deserve to come on and play and you don't deserve a run out. These are my minutes. Because indirectly, that is exactly what he's saying. And the caliber of player Conor Bradley is, my goodness. That's why Trent gave this face at the end, right? But enough of that. Trent is the Scouse wonder kid, the heartbeat of the team. And regardless of he signs now or he signs before January or even goes towards the end of the season before signing, if it's meant to be, it will be. If he's going to move on, we still have Conor Bradley, the slot machine. The future looks bright. Everyone, it's a time to be positive. It's not a time to second guess yourself or stir up a controversy. It doesn't really exist. We're on to Man United next, and we need the whole fan base aiming in one direction, linear tunnel vision towards Slot's ambition to get Liverpool back where we belong. Because Man City and Arsenal aren't invincible, and I'll explain why in a different video as well, because Liverpool's squad actually holds up very, very well against them with or without transfers, and there's aspects of this squad that you haven't quite seen that gives it some particular advantages over an Arsenal and over Man City, and I will go into that analysis in next video. But I digress. Let's go back into left back and Andrew Robertson. So I'm going to give Andy Robertson a 7. Some people aren't happy with his on-the-ball contribution, his limited ability on the ball and rondos. You notice how Brentford held back in the zone in that ship fulcrum shape until Andy Robertson got the ball, in which case they pressed. They really pressed him, like last match. Okay, on the ball, he's quite predictable. Only left foot. Crossing, fantastic. Burst of pace on the run, fantastic as well. But what you don't see about Andy Robertson, which is why he's always picked and why he's part of the leadership group and leadership material, as well as his happy-go-lucky, jolly attitude behind the scenes, is off the ball defending and shuffling of players and jostling and pushing them into areas that are uncomfortable for them and blocking the lines of passing for the transition to increase the gap between the midfielders and the strikers of the opposition team. His defensive play off the ball, which you don't see because the ball is somewhere else, is immaculate, and he will never stop focusing and concentrating on his defensive responsibilities, and my goodness, he was effective. I would have given him an 8 if he scored one of his goals, because he is of the quality that he should be smashing it top corner on the front post or on the second chance as well, burying it. He just has some more conviction in it. He can become a Giovinco Facchetti for the great Inter Milan team, doing the offensive and defensive duties, switching and finishing clinically like a striker, or even a Ruud Krol of the Dutch fame, the Dutch World Cup squad. What an offensive-minded left-back who could defend well. If he can add those attributes to his game, I'm sure Arne Slot will tell him all about Ruud Krol. My goodness, what a wing-back, left-back for Holland. If Robertson can add that to his game, well, he's going to have a renaissance at left back, and he will be scoring at least like 5 goals or something, because he can get into those positions. But yeah, let's get into the ratings. Robertson with a 7. Let's look at the special gravy mix, Gravenberch at the 6. He is really growing into that role. The more responsibility and the more experience he gets in that role, you'll notice that the players were giving him the ball and giving him the responsibility at the start of the game, above and beyond a Trent or Van Dijk. They were giving it to Gravenberch to get his familiarity in that position, working the yard of space. His touch is silk, pure technique, Dutch technique. He can roll his foot on the ball. He can roll the ball over through the studs. He can go left. He can go right. He can drop the shoulder and dummy run through the lines as well. Gravenberch's ability to find space where there is no space is amazing. What a gift at the number 6. And someone mentioned to me, can he grow into a Patrick Vieira type player? Similar build, similar technique, similar characteristics. He could, but the one thing that's question marked against Ryan Gravenberch growing into that type of player is the intangible qualities. Vieira is a leader. Vieira is mean. He is so mean and harsh to his team and to the opposition. He's a dominating force. It feels like 3 players in there when you're coming against a Patrick Vieira. He tackles hard. He goes with physicality. He's shoulder to shoulder. He will clatter anyone in the air and he'll back down from no one as well. These are the intangible qualities that make him that strong player, right? Which is why him and Roy Keane butted heads, because they have a similar mould. So, can he build those intangible characteristics? Yet to be seen, but in terms of technical attributes, Gravenberch can shift the ball and move the ball to such a point in time until the runner gets into position for that ball through the lines. You can't play the ball through the lines immediately, or it'll be intercepted, or it'll be picked up, but he can retain the ball under pressure until the point in time where Szoboszlai is in the right position to play him through, or McAllister as well. He's growing into a beautiful player. Now, people are saying he hasn't done it against Man United. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter whether you're Man United or Man City or Chelsea. Ipswich will press him hard. Brentford will press him hard. And so far, he's passed with flying colours. Few sloppy moments, but he's still getting used to the role. But all in all, positive net benefit. Gravenberch, 8 as well. Really like how he's growing into form, growing into performances. And he's got the support from Arne Slot and the club and the fan base, which is great to see. McAllister, technician, maestro, surprisingly very slow to distribute the ball when he went into the double pivot with Gravenberch in the second half. Caught on occasion, fouled twice. However, when he's in the offensive third and trying to lay off that pass, a perfectly weighted pass, a bit of backspin, a bit of topspin, a bit of shuffle, a bit of loft, he's a technician. He can always maneuver the ball into the right place to play the next ball. He's always looking, always gauging, very twitchy, always gauging the space, making sure his zone of influence is uninterrupted when he does get the ball and body shape. He's a silky player. Now, this was not his most effective and influential game, but he's a key cog and key component in a team of technicians. That is what I love to see now. We're not a physical powerhouse, only a physical powerhouse. We are a team of technicians playing in the Dutch mantra, the Dutch philosophy, the slot machine. I keep saying again and again, it's so apt for this team. The slot machine is cruel in its efficiency, and it's absolutely destructive in its mastery in control of the game. Controlling the game, I don't know what Carragher was talking about in terms of it's not as exciting as Jurgen Klopp, and it's not end-to-end, and you don't feel there's going to be vulnerabilities. That's exactly what you want. You don't want vulnerabilities. You don't want an exciting game. When you are winning the game, you want to starve the opposition, make them come at you, make them come out, break their shape and mould, and that's where you get the extra goals. What is he on about? I don't get it at all. And why do they keep comparing Slot to Klopp? Klopp had the best reign in recent memory, but his reign is over. It's the reign of Arne Slot. When they said that this is a Jurgen Klopp football team's style of goal, a Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp's style of goal, where does that even come from? Are you trying to antagonise the man? Bob Paisley's could have scored that type of goal. Shankly's teams could have scored that type of goal. Dalglish's teams could have scored that type of goal. And they far preceded Jurgen Klopp. This is Arne Slot's Liverpool's sort of goal, because he made the tactics to facilitate that goal and resulted in that goal. So, yeah, I don't know why they're trying to always pitch and match and compare Slot to Klopp. It gets tiresome. Leave the man alone, man. He's the shiny one, baby. Let him shine. That's a song by Take That, isn't it? Something like Shine. I don't know. My dad likes Take That. Anyway, Ryan Gravenberch with the 8, McAllister with a 7, because he can be more influential now. Dominik Szoboszlai, he is a machine. My goodness. The athleticism, the physical pace. Arne Slot has found a use for Szoboszlai, and I will show it on a graphics board, that has a game-winning condition written all over it again and again and again, and someone like Mo Salah, who has supreme vision and playmaking ability in the final third, can pick Szoboszlai out again and again and again, and that is a dangerous position, because on the rampage, on the charge, when Szoboszlai builds up a head of steam, he can't be stopped in getting into the lateral perpendicular position on the D, inside the box, pulling it back, pulling it out wide, pulling it across, extra pass comes in, you can't defend it. It's impossible to defend him against, because you can't catch him offside, otherwise he's in and behind you if you mess up, and you can't sit too deep, because then you open up the long shots and deflections and range shots as well, and ranged movements and interplay between them. It's a difficult conundrum that Liverpool have got into time and time again, and wow, it's exciting. Szoboszlai's on form. He is looking fit. He's looking menacing. He is contributing massively compared to the latter parts of last season. Szoboszlai gets an 8 as well. Majestic performance by Szoboszlai. Now, Mo Salah still finds it difficult at times to beat a man on the dribble, beat a man for pace, but I've told you since day one, his best attribute was his off-the-ball movement, his clinical movement, his decisive movement. He knows exactly when to run, when to hold, when to burst into the box, and the position he needs to get in to increase his goal-scoring chances. There's always going to be one time in every game when he does a pee-wee roller or a nice little pass or a nice little chip to the opposition goalkeeper who says, "Thank you very much." But it doesn't matter. You keep Mo Salah on because of that clinical, ruthless mentality and consistent, menacing off-the-ball running, because he will eventually get in the position to punish you. And when that ball came across from Lucho Diaz, and that's something else I want to highlight as well, Lucho Diaz of old would get his head down. He might be thinking about, the unfortunate circumstances with his dad last season, the kidnapping and all that. But did you see? He paused, he stopped, he rolled the ball across to Salah. That was intentional. He did not even attempt to take the man on a dribble. Straight away, he made his mind up to play it across. That's been worked on in training. Salah could have taken it right-footed. It was a right-footed shot, opened his body off, and then the clinical caressing of a ball. That's an R2 Pro Evolution Soccer finesse finish into the side net, locked it over the keeper's outstretched leg. Clinical. The man is absolutely on fire. Aerodynamic with a new haircut as well. Salah's going to have a great season. He's in my fantasy football team as well. I am 5th in the Liverpool Fan in Japan League. I unfortunately substituted in Foden for Saka. I should have got in De Bruyne. I was that close to bringing in De Bruyne, but then I thought, if De Bruyne and Foden both play, De Bruyne's going to be playing slightly deeper. Unfortunately, Foden didn't play, so De Bruyne was higher, and De Bruyne, wow, what a player. What a player. Anyway, digress a little bit. Enough about De Bruyne. Yes, Mo Salah, fantastic performance. Really was part of everything that's good. Even in the opening goal, played his part to get the ball across to Jota, who got it eventually to Lucho Diaz as well on the counter-attack, the transition. Give Mo Salah an 8. Fantastic performance. Now, on the other side, many people's man of the match, and I think my man of the match as well, Lucho Diaz, 9.5. If he can get that clinical, ruthless shooting nature, he's probably a 1 in 3, 1 in 5 shooter. He's not the most clinical ones, but it's because of the position he plays and where he shoots from. However, when you play him in and amongst goal, his dribbling ability, even when he has no right to get to the ball, not only does he get to the ball, he can do a double shimmy, a domino effect to get the players out of line, beat the man, and off you go, bypassing the first press in amongst the opposition. He can finish with left foot. He has got a good left-footed shot. The thing is, he hasn't got a good left-footed cross, but he doesn't need to cross it because we're not a crossing team at the moment under Arne Slot, unless you fulfill certain criteria, which is getting close enough to the opposition half space, that kind of thing. But let's not go there for now. Lucho Diaz, this is what I want to see. He presses like a madman. Do you know, when we press, and I will do it on the visuals board as well, we press in a 4-2-4 formation with an inverted W staggered press. Lucho Diaz, Jota, Szoboszlai, Salah. Pressing in an inverted shape, a kind of triangle cone crunch. Sounds like an ice cream. I digressed yet a little bit. Yummy. Lucho Diaz, 9.5. Him and Konate, wow, absolutely different standard. I want to see more of it. That's why you don't let go of your mavericks. You don't let go of your silky dribblers, your technicians. Because on any given day when the opposition are tough to break down, like a Crystal Palace, the opening goal is most important. And these kind of players can open the scoring, right? Lucho Diaz, 9.5. Diogo Jota the Slotter, game intelligence, running, connecting the play. Unfortunately, finishing just ever so slightly wonky, even though it got deflection and the other one was saved as well. But he connects the play. He is a perfect companion to Lucho Diaz and Mo Salah, because in our whole squad, he is most like Firmino to link the play and forward line and midfield as well, being the extra man on top of the diamond as well. Great intelligence. Finishing could come up trumps as well, but in the absence of Nunes being up to speed at the moment, and we will talk about Nunes and Gakpo ever so slightly, Jota gets a 7 because pressing was great, connecting the play was great, getting an assist as well, but really, he's a finisher, he's a shooter, he can play better than that. Nunes still needs time to work his way into the system. We don't have that cemented number 10 Szoboszlai Elliott behind him, because McAllister, Szoboszlai take turns in the 10 position. It was very evident that even though McAllister and Gravenberch started at the base in the 6, Dominic Szoboszlai actually inverted to the base in second half to help with athleticism and power physicality. And McAllister was sitting in the 10, slightly to the left of the 10 in the Mazzala 10 half space position. Very, very effective overall as a unit. So until we get that metronome behind Darwin Núñez to slip him in quickly, he will still be caught offside. It is still elements of Jurgen Klopp's play as well, and it will take him time to really find his feet and find his form in the Arne Slot system. But I have no worries about him because he is still a high caliber player that just needs some time. Why would you put any stick on any of our players when we've had such a great start to the season? Everyone will have a part to play against different opposition, against different tactics, bringing on different shooting boots, different runs, different performances. And you saw that with Cody Gakpo coming on as well. Darwin Núñez, I can only give a 6. Didn't play particularly well, but he harried, he pressed, he went into the right positions. The ball didn't come on time. He'll get there. Cody Gakpo, you can't stop him coming inside. That rangy, leggy ability to cut inside on the narrow, on the perpendicular, and shoot across. He is a thunderbolt of a shot. Hit the player, hit the crossbar. Gakpo is going to have a big part to play because his directness is menacing. His physicality is menacing. For such a big guy, he moves, he glides across the pitch. His touch is really, really good. He's composed. He's got confidence, and he's a mature lad as well. Great asset for the squad. Him and Lucho Diaz will fight for that spot, but for now, it's Lucho Diaz's to lose until a different opposition. Even though Gakpo scored 2 beautiful goals against Man United, hopefully that comes again next week as well. Other subs, Watalu, Man Mountain, Endo came on to show up the backline. Once again, I'm surprised Gravenberch showed a great maturity, right? Like a rude hullet, understanding his duties in the lines of battle. He's on a yellow card, avoid the red card, still tackle, still press, still harry on occasion. Maybe that's why McAllister dropped back and Szoboszlai dropped back to support him, so that Gravenberch didn't have to do the 50-50 crunches, which risks him of a red card as well. Watalu Endo came on, first action, muscled a player off, helped retain the possession, held the lines, was always an outlet. Limited time on the pitch, can only give him a 6. 6 is a standard performance. And then, as I predicted, Harvey Elliott to come on as well as the wide player. Why does he come on as a wide player and not instead of Szoboszlai, who's on a yellow card? The reasoning is Szoboszlai's role is still effective in the dying moments of the game. He was still performing the game-winning conditions and getting his function on the pitch in lieu of Arne Slot actually being on the pitch himself. Szoboszlai was doing the instructions and carrying that flank, which means that like for like, bring Elliott on as a wide pseudo playmaker from the wide right side in place of Mo Salah, because similar function. If it's working, why change it? You can change personnel, but keep the system. Hence, Szoboszlai on and not replaced by Elliott. Mo Salah replaced by Harvey Elliott. Didn't get a chance to influence the game too much. 1 or 2 nice deliveries into the box. Always looking, always probing, going to penetrate. His prime years will come in the next 3 or 4 years, but he's already making a contribution. He's there or thereabouts the first team as well. Got me 2 points in fantasy football. Love me some Harvey Elliott. The greatest lad, the kindest lad in the Liverpool squad. Also, I've heard. He gets a 6 as well. There is the player ratings, and before we absolutely smash the time boundary, I do want to get onto the visual board. So just a few things before we go into the tactics board. I love Slot's openness, my goodness. He said, yeah, Brentford aren't expected to finish in the top 6. And then Mosquera getting away with it again over the top on Caicedo. Last week, choking Havertz. And then a little tushy play with Gabriel Jesus as well. My goodness, Mosquera, what an addition. He's been out on loan twice, right, to the American leagues or something like Cincinnati, is it? Anyway, yeah, I digress. Let's get onto this lineup. What I want to say is, in the first half, the players were giving the ball to Gravenberch. Even Trent in his position was giving the ball to Gravenberch. An amazing thing is his first touch to roll the ball over. He has a great caressing of the ball underneath his feet, and they're really trusting him and getting him into the game. What I like about Gravenberch's ability with the ball is to bring the ball. And what I mean by this is, let's say, for example, Szoboszlai is here. Gravenberch can bring the ball on the lateral. He can go this way, until the point in time where Trent goes here. The opposition has to cover potentially for Trent. So Szoboszlai darts on the inside. And then when the opportune time is there, the player is here. Man marking Trent. There's another player opposition here. Gravenberch can silk the ball through the lines under pressure from the opposition who's been jockeying him. He can earn that yard of space by going left and right until the opportune time to slip the ball in. And it's all facilitated by the off the ball movement and them having to cover those additional players. Gravenberch's ability to hold on to the ball until the press is there, until the press oppresses the runners off the ball to release the ball is magical. It means that you are so composed and comfortable with the ball at your feet, and knowing that you don't release an easy pass, you are probing for the opportune time to play the ball through the lines. That is a huge asset to have at the base of the midfield, and probably what Zubimendi would have been bought in for, to be honest. But we're getting it in Gravenberch as well. People who say, let's see it against big opposition before, we big up Gravenberch. Sure, let's see it against big opposition. Nothing wrong with that. He would do it again. Yep, I love me some Gravenberch here. Another prospect that I want to highlight for you guys is one of the game-winning conditions. Szoboszlai has been instructed to hit this line again and again and again and again, and is unstoppable, because when he's in this half-space position where Salah is actually either high up, part of the build-up, or tucked in behind Jota here, more than likely, when the ball gets out to Salah on this position and there is an overlap to Trent, looking at that ball in and around the outside, Szoboszlai goes from in to out, and the ball is slid in behind by Trent or by Salah directly to get Szoboszlai into that position. And as I intimated earlier, you can't try to play him offside, because if you get it wrong, if you get the offside wrong, he's in on goal because he's faster than you and he's built up momentum. If you stand off him, you risk the long shot, the pile driver, or the play out to Trent, or playing across the lines as an Arne Slot system does as well. It's so hard, even if you are in a good position, to stop Szoboszlai bursting into the area, and then what you got is a potential pullback, a smash across the ball, or on some occasions, the layoff to Trent, who can play the... Now, you would expect a cross. A Klopp system crosses it, and a cross is a great play as well, and you will get many goals from a cross. But he slotted it to Salah. He slots it to the player for the extra touch, and he can take the shot. He can pass. He's got all the options. This extra ball, this extra touch and composure to get into a better position to convert the chance is a big facet of Arne Slot's play, and I'm loving it. The composure, the cockiness, the confidence. This is a dominating style of football, and wow, the opposition must feel proper violated by the confidence of our players to hold on to the ball until it's the right time to release the ball, release the beast. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic to see. You can really see what Arne Slot is trying to do. Another great proponent of the game as well is Lucho Diaz in this position. Usually he will always come inside, stand a man up. But when the ball was thread through to Lucho Diaz, what did you see? He stopped. He got his head up and he passed it to Salah. That is refreshing to see. That is a Lucho Diaz who has taken on board the instructions from Arne Slot. How many times have you seen that in the past? He's tried it once or twice, but not regularly and not instantly. But he instantly decided that was the ball to play. Salah opened his body and finishes it for 2-0. The game is killed off. Arne Slot's only criticism of the game was not killed off earlier when we had the opportunities to do so. Some of the play was outstanding. We saw Trent defending the space, jostling the opposition down the line as well, or bringing the opposition into Konate, who cleaned up as well. These two worked in tandem immaculately, because Konate is one of the best width defenders, wide defenders in world football, and Anfield is a relatively smaller pitch, so his ability to have there and still contribute to the defensive asset of the game as well, the defensive facet of the game, immaculate. Trent rotated to the centre of the pitch to spread his influence in the second half, because Brentford were tiring and couldn't press him. He went on the overlap as the Trent of old. He went into the half space to do quality deliveries as well. Every single movement of the game had purpose for me, and I'm really enjoying to see these players understand what Slot intends of them. Slot gets them into the right positions and then relies on the individual quality to make the difference. He said so himself. And that 1-2 with Salah ultimately ending Maka trying to slide him through. How many 1-2s is that? 1-2, receive it back. 1-2, receive it back. 1-1, and then continuing his run and trying to get on the end of the Maka final ball through. You can't stop it. Sometimes it's just too good and it's breathtaking. The final defender was in the right position to stop him, tracked his run ultimately and finally, but this is exciting. What is Carrot on about? This is some of the most beautiful, technical and controlled, dominating football Liverpool have played in a long time. It's not heavy metal. This is an orchestra. And both of them have their merits, but we're in the Arne Slot era right now, and I'm loving what we're seeing, and long may it continue. Smash a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't already, especially because we're about to get smashed by Hurricane Shan. A massive tropical cyclone, hurricane, typhoon Majigi is going to smash us hard. There's already thunderstorms and heavy rain. So I'm going to cheer myself up with a new piece of kit. I think I deserved it. Liverpool deserved to see me in it. Make sure you like the video, man. It'll cheer me up completely. We actually went out and about before this hurricane hit. I'm going to include it in the next video, so definitely check it out. We went to a fun place with the little ones. Everyone was kitted in a Liverpool kit, even Mamacita Maimi. She was in her kit. So yeah, what have we got here? This is not a Liverpool kit. This is Japan, Ichiban, Nihon, Samurai Blue, and it's our man Wataru. No, Wataru-san. Wataru Endo. Japan number 6. Wow, that is a quality, beautiful kit. Look at the zigzags and the Samurai Blue. Whoop-de-doo. Man United, we coming for you. Poet, and I didn't even know it. Love it. This is actually a really nice kit. It's really, really silky, really body hugging. Oh, Samurai Blue. Endo, oh, you mighty man. Don't mind if I do. Anyway, let me quickly show you as well. Final point on the formations. The 4-2-4 pressing that Arne Slot employed against Brentford, it was beautiful because it wasn't just a standard 4-2-4, it was a staggered 4-2-4. Let's quickly get onto that screen. Final little moment. So yes, very, very interesting. We pressed in a 4-2-4. Obviously, we still have the options there, Maka and Gravenberch holding in the centre, but we pressed with a staggered 4-2-4. Jota leads the press. Diaz backs him up on the shoulder, waiting for the ball to come out wide here. Szoboszlai pressed in this kind of fashion. First 2 men to go, and Salah is in and around, coming from the flank as well. This closes the gap on either side in a kind of pincer formation, but a very lopsided pincer formation, which means they were targeting specific centre backs. Very, very interesting to see. Miyazaki man, Ichiban, Miyazaki-gan, the army is growing. Thank you so much for all of your support. And this is the start of something truly, truly beautiful. So once again, arigatou gozaimasu means thank you. Jane means ciao. And have a great week. So hit my music.
Liverpool fan in Japan.